Sexual assault is coming more to the forefront of our country. People are seeing it. They're seeing it in the military. They're seeing it in athletics. They're seeing it on college campuses.
I once walked into a patient's room. I'd been called in to see a rape victim. And as I walked in the room, she turned to look at me, and her face had been so badly beaten, she couldn't even open up one of her eyes. She'd already gotten some stitches. And the first thing she said to me, she said, "You need to know I brought this upon myself." I pulled up a stool next to her and I said, "I don't even know your story, but I will tell you right now, you did not bring this upon yourself, that you were a victim, that somebody did this to you."
Back in the 80s, it was common practice if you went to a party and you drank a little bit, you were like, yeah, whatever, I'm driving home. But the public outcry and education has helped bring down those numbers a lot. That sort of thing is happening with sexual assault now.
Non-reporting is a huge issue nationwide. Utah's no different. There's a lot of shame. There's a lot of doubt. People are worried they're not going to be believed by coming forward, especially with a sexual assault.
My background is as a sexual assault nurse examiner. So as a nurse, I'm a forensic nurse. And so my patients are victims of rape, sexual assault, interpersonal violence, child abuse. I have focused more on the sexual assault and rape of late because that's where my research is. Working with police agencies is different with every single police agency. I've had many very tense meetings. I have been told that I'm irresponsible to do research like this and release it to the public. I was working with one law enforcement official, and we were walking down to his office for him to look up these cases, and he stopped as we were walking down the hall and he said, "You know, I don't even need to look these up. I could tell you, I bet we didn't screen any of these with the prosecutor's office." And I said, "Well, why? How do you know that?" And he said, "Well, all our rape cases are BS."
We don't want to do a bad job. We got into this job to help people. We had what we'd call a soft interview room for our victims. Basically, it had a fake tree in the corner, okay? And it was still a suspect interview room, but it had a fake tree, so it was soft, so it was nice. That doesn't work. To come in here and talk about, if not the worst moment of your life, ever, this is very comfortable. So, you can physically feel the energy of interviewing a victim of sexual assault from one room to the next room. Where an interview would happen for about 35, 45 minutes in our soft interview up here with our fake tree. Down in the victim interview room now, those interviews are about an hour, hour and a half. I've had 4-hour interviews in there. The interviewer would sit here, which is also comfortable because these things get long, these interviews. And then we would have our survivor here. This is just much better environment. And it's just more homey. You'd rather talk about things that have happened to you that are very private and traumatic in a room like this than you would up there.
But it's really hard for victims to say the word rape or sexual assault. And so part of the education needs to be, what is sexual assault? What is rape? And helping students understand that and define that.
Okay, it's when someone is getting sexually intimate and then the other person says no or they don't want to and the other person continues anyway.
Whenever someone feels like they've been violated or taken advantage of in a sexual manner.
Yeah, so it's unwanted sexual interaction with another person, right?
Anything when the girl is not willing at any period of the intimacy, I guess.
We would love to encourage people to come and talk to an advocate. You don't have to report to talk to an advocate. Come and talk to an advocate. Come and see what your options are, what your resources are. Because even if you don't report a crime, there are resources out there to help you through, the healing, to get the counseling that you need.
If you are a victim of sexual assault, there are resources for you. There are a lot of people who are looking out for you and who want to help you.
If you've ever been at an adjudication and a sentencing, there's an opportunity right when he gets sentenced for the victim to tell the court how their life has been since, or what happened, and how they feel and what they feel should be done as far as justice-wise is concerned. And to see a couple victims in my past go from victim to survivor at that point is hugely empowering.